What's going on, YouTube? Midwest Tool Review is here tonight, and I've got some new tools for you guys. Nah, it's not Snap-on. I know you guys are loving the Snap-on videos, and but tonight we're not talking about Snap-on. We're going to be talking about Olsa tools. This is an Olsa tools sponsored video, and we're going to look and do a little bit of a comparison, if you will, between some Olsa tools and some Snap-on, just for prosperity's sake, just to kind of show you guys what I think about the new Olsa tools adjustable wrench set, the 4-piece adjustable wrench set. So let's go over it real quick. Let's do the traditional stuff. Once again, this is an Olsa tools sponsored video. Do more, do better. Heavy duty forged steel, precision machine slide jaws, low profile designs. The set comes with a 6-inch, 8, a 10, and a 12, all adjustable wrenches, 4-piece set. And I was trying to determine if I could give you guys a part number. Yep, there we go. Part number is 1273. They are made in Taiwan, Hangzhou, Taiwan. So let's get these suckers opened up, and we'll look at them, and then we'll do a little bit of a comparison, and then we'll go from there. I'll let you guys be the judge, you know? I'm just gonna do a review of them from a tolerance, fit, you know, all the good stuff on there, right? So we'll play around with them a little. We'll have some fun with it, because after all, someone's gonna not like the video anyway, so whatever. Okay, so just looking at the adjustable wrenches here, you know, I like the design. I like the feel. You know, they have a matte finish here, a little bit of a polish or a machine finish there. The laser etching is fairly clear, so I don't think you're going to have an issue with that. It does have metric on one side and inch on the other, so depending on where you're at in the land, you know, you may want to use one side versus the other. The thumb knob has a decent amount of knurling there. So the biggest thing I was considering was how much knurling is there, because as your hands get dirty, as they get coated in oil and other types of fluids, it makes it less likely to grip this thumb wheel. So we want to make sure that there was a good amount and a good pronounced knurling there on that thumb wheel, adjustment wheel, to make sure that you could adjust that with one hand, because the last thing you want to do is be adjusting with two hands. But it slides very freely. And one of the major things that I wanted to compare was the amount of slack in the jaw. So let's go ahead and look at that. See if I can do this. You see that there? And as you get further out, it does kind of remain the same. Let's move it in. And it's about the same. So about even throughout the length of the slide. So we know that this is fairly parallel, that there's a nice tolerance between the thumb screw and the track that this rides on, and there's not a lot of deviation in that. When we close it all together, we see that there's no gap, you know. Not too bad, at least. There's a little bit of a gap there, but that's not too bad. You can see a little bit of light behind there, but that's not terribly bad. There's your jaw, your front of your jaw. They come together fairly good, so there's no issues with that. And like I said, the biggest thing for me is because these suckers will round off a fastener if they're not on there very well, if there's a lot of slack or a lot of freedom of movement within the jaw. Now let's compare that to the likes of the King, the Snap-on, right? So when we adjust this, when we look at the thumb wheel here, I think that the Snap-on does have a little bit more of a pronounced knurling, meaning that it's a little bit more in depth. So you're going to be more likely to be able to make good contact with that if your hands are wet. The Snap-on does have obviously the metric on one side and the SAE on the other, or inch, imperial, whatever you want to call it. It is chrome versus a machined or a matte finish. And then this are these the 6 inches? These are the 8 inches, right? I think that's what that is. Yeah, both of these are 8-inch adjustables. So when we look at, let's open them all the way up and kind of compare that. And we can see that the Olsa Tools opens up a little bit wider than that of the, compared to the Snap-on, where the Snap-on is rated at 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit over. And then the Snap-on is 3/4 of an inch, and the Olsa Tools is from 0 to 1 inch. So that being said, if we look at, let's see how much flex or how much movement, freedom of motion, movement in the jaw. Let's get that closer there. Okay, you see that there, how much there is. These are brand new, by the way. Okay, compare that to the Olsa Tools. There's actually less movement in the Olsa Tools. Okay, one of the big benefits of the Snap-on is that it does have the grooves. I don't know, some people refer to them as flank drive or whatever, but it does have the grooves that will help load the fastener or load the force generated by the tool onto the fastener more effectively, thus eliminating or reducing the opportunity for rounding off the fastener. So I do like that feature. These are actually a flat face design. But once again, I do like the fact that they have less movement in the jaw, and that's going to be important, because if you can imagine the Snap-on, let's keep these in frame. If the Snap-on has more, right, we want to make sure that when we tighten it onto a fastener, that we have some mechanism to overcome the potential for rounding off a fastener. So by having this little flank drive with these grooves, it kind of helps mitigate that. So the concern that we would normally have because of the amount of movement in the jaw is mitigated by the fact that we do have the grooves. And maybe it's almost a necessity. I'm not sure. I don't understand exactly all of their design. I'm just trying to base it off of what I see here now. But in general, let me see if I can get something to put these on. I don't have a fastener in front of me. Let's see if we can get these man, that's not gonna come off. Let's see. Now I wanted something fairly large to put these on. Let's do it this way here. Okay, we've got something. So, and obviously we're not in a position to tighten, but I think what I'm gonna do, let's try a little makeshift something here. See if we can. One of the big things is the jaw. How much does it spread? So if we put these in a ratchet and we come up with our little makeshift design here, obviously the further back you're going to be, the less likely you are to strip it. And, you know, as you move forward, then you don't have, you're like kind of off your fulcrum or your highest loading point. So you're further out, you're extended out, and so you have less, you have a lower distribution of torque once you extend further out towards the edge of the jaw. But these feel pretty good. I try to tighten them up to see how much movement there is, and you know, excluding the movement in the ratchet in itself, these fit very snugly, and they stay fit. You know, they stay fitted onto the fastener. So that's a good thing as well. They're very parallel. They're not, you know, flexing in any kind of way. So that's pretty good. I do like that. If we compare that to a Snap-on, you know, Snap-ons are obviously, like I said, they're the king. They feel good no matter what. And they are a little bit heavier too. So probably a better steel that's been used. And then when they're fully extended all the way out, once again, there's very little movement, and the Snap-ons also fit very well. So I think, you know, these are a little bit lighter design. Granted, they don't have, they're not quite as thick in the body, maybe some extent, but not quite as thick. As like on the head or the jaw is a little bit thinner. There is a weight difference. Let me see if I can tell you what the weight difference is. Now, granted, we do have the Snap-on that has the rubber handle component on there, so we have to factor that in as well. Let's see. So in terms of grams, the Snap-on weighs 307 grams, whereas the Olsa tools is at 258. So the Olsa tools are a lot lighter, but once again, you know, we don't have we have this rubber grip here, so that's going to add to the weight profile overall. But in general, as far as length and all of that, they're about the same. The Olsa tools is a little bit longer, but a little bit narrower in the body in comparison to, I guess you guys probably didn't see that, a little bit longer comparative to the Snap-on, but at the same time, a little bit thinner too, a little bit more lightweight. So it all depends on what you're doing. I know for me, dealing a lot with old school tools, traditionally, the heavier the tool, you consider that to be better quality. I know today things are trying to be lighter but stronger. That's the goal of manufacturing various alloys, and I work in that industry, so I truly get that. But nonetheless, I think for the money, granted, these were given to me by Olsa Tools, and I would have to verify the price point on those. But I believe for a nice set of these, it's certainly going to be less than probably $100. And I hate that I don't know that number. I wish I had got that number for you guys. Maybe somebody will put it in the comment section. But I think this is a really good set of adjustable wrenches here. I can't find anything that I would be concerned about personally. I mean, the amount of motion and the jaws, it seems to be actually a little bit better as you go up in size, really. Let's see here at the 12 inchers. About the same. So from 6 inches all the way up to 12 inches, they've got fairly consistent, and I wouldn't even, fairly is probably not even a proper way to describe it either. I would say that their tolerance and fitment is consistent, underline the word consistent, from 6 inches all the way up to their 12-inch adjustable wrench. So here's another set of Snap-ons here that I have. I have several sets of these, various sizes. They're not all the same. They're all a little bit different. These are these are from 0 to 1 inch, whereas the other ones were 3/4 of an inch. These are also, I think these are also 8 inch, but they're like a different model, or a newer model, I think it is, of the comparative to the red set there. And then, believe it or not, I got some old Proto, and these Proto are really, really tight. I mean, that's like virtually nothing no movement in that jaw. But these, we're not reviewing Proto, but just an FYI, Proto USA makes a really good adjustable wrench, just so you guys are aware of that. But I would say for the money, and I will post it in the description, I will make sure that I list the cost of these adjustable wrenches before I post the video. I will make sure that that's listed in there. I would recommend getting these just from, now I haven't, once again, because I know people are going to get on there and hate, from a fitment, from a functionality, from a aesthetics, and a tolerance perspective, right? I think that these are a decent set of adjustable wrenches, especially probably for the price point. I don't know how they're going to hold up over repetitive use, but once again, no one's really using adjustable wrenches like that. I mean, if you're in heavy equipment, like you're a diesel guy or heavy equipment mechanic, yeah, you're probably going to use these more so than what an automotive mechanic would traditionally use these, or machinist or something to that effect. You're probably going to use this a lot more than what an automotive technician or mechanic would use these. So that being said, you know, it's going to take some people out there to really get these wrenches in their hands. They really test them out and put them through their paces. If you were to ask me what I thought about what potentially would wear, or what I would have a concern about with these would be, I would just want to see how well the jaws hold up. Being slid on and off fasteners over time, given that the surface is so flush. I mean, look how smooth the surface and well machined that is. I mean, they did a fantastic job making sure that that surface is perfectly flat. And when they come together, like I said, they are fairly parallel with, let's see here, with only a very minimal amount of spacing there. That's probably less than 1/1000 of an inch. I mean, less than 2/1000, something like that. I don't know. What was I saying? Looking at that just from a general perspective of tolerance and machining and fitment, I think these would be a great tool. And like I said, it's going to take someone who's going to be putting these things through their paces to really verify that and really put them through the test. But I think that there's some guys out there that would be perfect to try these out. And that's going to be the true test. And like I said, I would be wanting to know how hard the jaw is, how well the jaw holds up, the metal. I wish I had a ball indenter where I could check the hardness value of that jaw to kind of see where they fare out at. But yeah, I think that as long as that jaw holds up and the material, there's no issues with ductility of the metal, whereas where it will crack under load. I think that these are going to be a fantastic tool. Certainly, I don't expect them to be rounding off fasteners. Based upon the tolerance, based upon the fitment, the parallelism between the lower and the upper jaw, I think that they're going to be they will be very, very effective in a day-to-day use application. So, guys, Olsa Tools is really putting forth a genuine effort to produce some really high-quality tools, and I think that, obviously entering the market, you've got so many companies out there. You've got Gear Wrench, you've got Capri, you've got Tecton. There's other ones that all would fall within the same price point range. So you have a lot of competitors. They have a lot of competitors out there. And the fact that Olsa Tools is still producing tools and still going after specific product types within this market is fantastic. And I think that in order to do that and be effective, they have to ensure that they're working with manufacturers who can impart or employ the very high level of quality and craftsmanship into their products. Otherwise, they're not going to make it. If they just go out there and says, hey, produce us some adjustable wrenches, we need a 4-piece set ranging from 6 to 12 inch, and there you go. They're not going to last very long because people are going to get them, they're going to use them, they're going to break them, and then they're just going to get a bad rep. As Harbor Freight, they learn that. They're trying to come back too, but it may be a little bit too late for those guys, especially for the professional perspective. But I would say Olsa Tools, that they're doing a great job. And my 30,000 foot view assessment of these adjustable wrenches, I think that they would make a excellent tool for both the professional and the DIY mechanic or the weekend mechanic. I think you guys would be very impressed with these adjustable wrenches. So based upon those 4 points of criteria that I looked at, fitment, tolerance, machine, the craftsmanship or workmanship or how it's machined and laid out, I think that I would recommend these adjustable wrenches. So I would encourage you guys to purchase a set. Let us know. People want to know. I want to know. I know other mechanics out there and other technicians, engineers, etc. They all want to know. So if any of you guys that are willing to make a little bit of a capital investment in some adjustable wrenches and you're looking for a fine set, I would encourage you guys to check out Olsa Tools and get yourselves some of these adjustable wrenches. They come in a very, very nice blow molded case, really hard plastic, not that cheap chintzy stuff that cracks as soon as you load it into your toolbox. A really, really nice blow molded case to hold your tools. So check out Olsa Tools, guys. They've got the Midwest Tool Review 30,000 foot view approval, and there's your part number 1273, 4-piece adjustable set, adjustable wrench set, 6, 8, 10, and 12, guys. Olsa Tools. Do more, do better with Olsa Tools, guys. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. This is super long. I appreciate the support. I know you guys probably only made it to like 6 minutes of video, but for anyone who has made it to the very end, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Check me out on Midwest Tool Review on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. And make sure that you're following me on Instagram at Midwest_tool. Midwest_tool_review on Instagram, and I post things on there all the time. So check me out, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Olsa Tools, guys. Check them out. Peace.